We were last here on August the 16th, 2023. Both parties were served, and we're back today. And counsel for the state, you said this is a hearing, correct?
It is, Your Honor, and
On all
unfortunately,
issues?
yes, the parties have not agreed on anything, so it will be all issues.
And how much time are you requesting?
30 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to give you 20 minutes,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm setting the timer. You may proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to call Mr. Chavez first. Please state your name, sir.
David Chavez.
You have 2 children with Angelica Vasquez.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and those are 2 little girls, Marcella and Arabella, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
4 and 6.
Did you and Miss Vasquez both sign acknowledgement of paternities for these children?
Yes, ma'am.
And those acknowledgement of paternities have you as the father on both of them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Where have these children been residing?
What was that again, ma'am?
Where have they been living, these children? Who have they been living with?
With me, ma'am.
For how long?
Since last year of October, when she first gave them back to me.
Since October of 2022?
I think so, ma'am. It's been a year and a half.
Okay, a year and a half would be June 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been back that long?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any safety concerns against Ms. Vasquez or anyone else such that you would not want your information disclosed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you received any support from Ms. Vasquez since June 2022?
No, ma'am.
Are you seeking to be joint managing conservator with Ms. Vasquez with the right to designate the residence of the children?
Yes, ma'am.
And that residence be restricted to Dallas and contiguous counties?
Yes, ma'am.
Family violence questions?
Ma'am?
Would you ask the family violence questions regarding the conservatorship?
Well, I ask it, Mr. Vasquez, again, do you have any safety concerns against Ms. Vasquez?
No, ma'am.
Has she had any acts of violence towards you or the children?
No, ma'am.
Has she threatened you with anything?
No, ma'am.
Has she threatened to keep the children from you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you asking the court to grant visitation to Ms. Vasquez according to the standard possession order? And we went over that, correct, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Has there been a Child Protective Services investigation for these children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you know what any accusations against the mother towards the children would have been?
I don't, to be honest. All she said was it's something about her son.
Okay. Okay. Are you asking for child support to be paid by the mother to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking it to be retroactive back to June 1st, 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any personal knowledge of her income?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What kind of medical coverage would you intend to have for the children should you be granted the right to designate residence today?
Well, I'm trying to put them on Medicaid, but they gave me a hard time right now.
Okay, do you have any private insurance available to you that's a reasonable cost?
No, ma'am.
Any dental insurance available to you at a reasonable cost? Are you frozen, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. I said no, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Do you have any retroactive medical or dental costs that you're seeking reimbursement for before the court?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll pass that witness. And if
Okay,
Ms.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay,
Yes, allegations, sir. Is that when the children came to live with you?
What was that again, ma'am?
You said there were some CPS allegations against the mother, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It did not involve the two children that mom and you have together?
No, not me personally. It was just with the mom.
Okay, so listen to my question. The CPS allegations, did it involve all of her children and her, or other children that she does not share with you?
It did with other. It was with her son.
Okay,
But
when was
due
it? What was the month
because of
and
the
year of
fact,
that?
like the son was with my daughter.
I'm
That
sorry, you
just
said
happened recently.
what? You said
Recently
what, sir?
CPS just came to my house last week talking about her case and her son.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to
So they
be.
wanted to come check on the girls to see
Wait,
if
wait,
they're
wait,
okay.
stop. Can you hear me? That's the first thing. Can
Yes, I
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yeah,
Yes?
but you're bringing it up a little too.
Okay, because it's like choppy and you're cutting across when I'm trying to ask the question. So I want to make sure you can hear me. Okay,
Okay.
CPS came last week. Are they
Uh-huh.
telling you that you need to keep the kids?
Yes.
Okay, did they make any recommendations regarding visits, no visitation, supervised visits?
No, ma'am.
What is the allegation regarding her son specifically?
So they had told me that he got did something with sexual something like that. And so that's the reason why they came to check on my girls to see if my girls been over there. And I told them they haven't. They just been with me.
Okay, so how old is that son?
I think like 13, 14.
All right, were they asking whether or not the son had molested the other two children?
Yes, they wanted to see if they were with
Mhm.
them, but I told them they weren't because they've been
Okay,
staying with me.
and how old are the two that you have with her?
4 and 6.
Okay, thank you. Now, counsel for the state, before you begin, I got a couple of questions for Ms. Vasquez. Ms. Vasquez, is CPS involved?
Case has been closed.
Okay, CPS was involved?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did they become involved?
About a month ago.
And what was the allegation?
Allegation was that my son had sexual assaulted a young girl that he was dating.
And how old is your son?
14.
And the CPS case is closed, and what happened?
It was over allegations because it wasn't anybody that had to be involved with, like, family member, me, stepdad, or anybody. It was outside. It was a stranger. They dropped the case because it was just allegations.
Were you aware that CPS went over to talk to Mr. Chavez about the two little girls the two of you shared?
I was the one that gave them the address because they thought that the girls were living with me, and I told them no, that they live with their father. And that was one of the reasons why they dropped the case, because they were more concerned on their little girls, not as much as Nathaniel, because he's he's a teenager. But that was it. I was the one that gave them the information.
Okay, and CPS has never been in, so the case is closed. No, they're not moving forward. No recommendations regarding any type of visitation being restricted between you and your two daughters.
No.
Did they give you some paperwork?
They're gonna be emailing it to me that the case was been closed.
Okay, so you don't have any paperwork at this point. That's just your testimony. You don't have
Yeah.
that yet.
No, I
Okay.
mean, I can call her and I can get something, but yeah.
Mhm. Okay, counsel for the state, now you may proceed.
Okay. So Ms. Vasquez, I'm going to ask you first of all, if you have any safety concerns against Mr. Chavez or against anyone else?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any reason why your information should not be included in this order?
No, ma'am.
Has Mr. Chavez ever threatened you or harmed you in any way?
No, ma'am.
Or the children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How many children do you have currently for which you have a duty to support? And I don't mean anyone in college. I mean anyone high school or younger that you have a duty to support.
3.
Okay, you've got
No,
3.
4. Because it's the 2 girls, Nathaniel and Elijah. No, and Julian, because he's in high school.
How many is that total?
5.
Okay, so that's 2 before the court and 3 not before the court today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so what date do you say that you've been separated from Mr. Chavez?
Separated?
Yes.
We separated in 2020. Like around June.
Did he have the children since that time, or have the children gone back and forth?
They've been back and forth.
Okay. Do you agree to the date of June 2022 as far as him having the children? An
He had
18-month period.
no, he had for like about a month, like in July. I got him back, and then they went back with him back in September. I was
So
just going. I was going through our text messages right now. That's why I was going back on dates.
Okay, so you understand that one of the issues being brought before the court is the amount of retroactive child support, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you believe is the correct date, if the court were going to grant retroactive, the correct date to start from?
I would say last year.
What month?
Oh, in September.
So you believe starting to September 2022 would be a correct beginning time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At the time of September, what were your earnings?
September.
2022.
They were. I had just started working at Parkland.
Okay, so was that minimum wage?
Yeah, minimum wage. I wasn't making any type of commission. It was just minimum wage.
Okay. And then you had a period of time when you were not working at all. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened and when was that?
On November 24th, Thanksgiving morning, I was involved in an accident. Had a fractured rib and a punctured lung, and so I was placed off of work for 6 months.
Okay, so and we decided, okay, I can't talk about what we discussed in negotiation, but from 12/1/22 to March 30th, 23, your income was 0. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you made some income from April 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2022 in the amount of $24.94 and 46 a month. Does that
Yes, ma'am.
sound correct? Okay. And then you got another job and making more money beginning July 1st, 2023 through today, November 15th, 2023. Is that correct? Your new job?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the hourly rate for that?
$20.
Okay. Do you also make commission?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of a job is this? What do you do?
I do sales. I do sales. It's a call center for a sales company doing advertisement and promotion for businesses at schools.
So your average income has been with commission, $4,442.06 a month. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And without commission, it would have been a minimum of $3,466.67.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that correct? Okay. What kind of medical do you have available to you for the children? Health insurance and dental. What kind is available?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't really looked into it. I mean, I know whenever I kind of glanced at it, I mean, it's there. But when I started looking at the prices, it was really high. That's why I personally didn't get it for myself.
So you don't have coverage for yourself even
I-
through your work?
Not through my job. I have women's Medicaid.
Okay. But you don't know what the cost is? You just said it was too high?
Yeah, it was really high. That's why I just didn't even get any for me.
You have 4 minutes left, counsel.
Okay. I believe that's all my questions. Oh, let me ask you about the Child Protective Services. Do you have any reason to believe that your children are in danger in the home with your son?
No.
Are you agreeable if the court gives primary possession to Mr. Chavez? Are you agreeable to a standard possession order? First, third, and fifth weekends during the school year, Thursdays, overnight during the school year, 30 days in the summer, every other holiday. Do you agree to that schedule?
I mean, like I don't want to even have to have certain days with my daughters. I don't want to have any type of restrictions on my daughters. I mean, that's just me personally.
Do you agree to pay child support?
I don't.
Do you agree for the children to live primarily with their father?
I don't have any. I don't have nothing against his father or them being there, but I want my babies back.
What does that mean?
I mean, that means I'm gonna fight to get my daughters back.
So you're not agreeable with them living primarily with him?
No.
All right, I'll pass the witness.
So I don't know what your proposed child support is, your proposed medical, your proposed.
Okay. I'll give you that, Judge. There's so many questions here, Judge. She has a job with commission. I'm asking for the children to stay on Medicaid with father being the applicant, for mother to pay.
Are you gonna ask the parties if they agree to any of that? I mean, I know that mother's not agreeing to it, but
Right.
no amounts were ever stated. Are you in agreement or disagreement? So I don't know any of the financial information at all.
Okay. And again, they didn't agree with anything. I just got the information of what the income was, and I can propose what.
That's what that you would
Yeah.
have to do a proposal. Yeah.
Right. So if I proposed to base the income on mother's, what she said she had been earning, her average income, $4,442.06, with 150 for cash medical. And I arrived at that because 9% would be of her just commission. Her minimum income is 312. Half of that is 156. She's got three other children. So I propose 156. The oldest is 18.
So can you ask questions to the parties?
Okay.
Whatever your proposal is. So you're requesting that the children remain on Medicaid and asking the father that question?
Okay, I can do that. Mr. Chavez.
Yes, ma'am.
do you agree with, to keep the children on, to apply to have the children on Medicaid,
Yes, ma'am.
and for the court to assess a cash medical amount of $150?
Yes, ma'am.
And that would make child support $679. Do you agree with those amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and for the retroactive, you stated that you've had the children at least since June 2022. And her income minimum wage for that first 6 months would total retroactive of $1,314. Do you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
The next 4 months, she was injured and didn't work at all, so we have 0 for that period of 4 months. You agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
The next
Wait,
3
wait,
months,
wait, wait. She was unemployed, is what you said, so you wouldn't assess any child support?
because she said she was injured and was unable to work during that period of time. So since her actual income was 0 and she was unable to work, that's the reason that we agreed to the 0 just during that 4-month period. And then the next 3 months, she had the higher income of $2,494.46. So the retro would be $1,233 for those 3 months. Do you agree with that, Mr. Chavez?
Yes.
And then the last
Yes,
5
ma'am.
months, the last 5 months, and that was July 1st, 2023 through 11/15/2023, she had the income she has now. So with the average of $4,442.06, then that would be 708 times 5, $3,540, for a total of retroactive of $6,087. Do you agree with that for a retroactive judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree for her to pay that back at $100 a month, beginning December 1st, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you asking to be joint managing with the right to designate residence in Dallas and contiguous, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And for the mother to have standard possession? The standard possession
Yes.
order? Okay.
Okay, so
And so
sir,
do I need to,
I have a couple of questions. So, sir,
okay,
you signed 2 acknowledgement of paternities regarding the minor 2 children. Are you admitting that you're the biological father of the 2 children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and has there ever been any family violence between you and the mother?
No, ma'am.
And have you ever been granting protective orders or restraining orders against her?
No, ma'am.
Has she ever been granting any against you?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been arrested for any family violence towards her or vice versa?
No, ma'am.
How did the children come to live with you and stay there? How did that come about?
Well, when we had separated like 2, maybe like 3, 4 months later, CPS had called me because her boyfriend had neglected one of her children, and
So
CPS
that's
called
a
me saying I had
different
to go pick up my
CPS
girls.
allegation. That's the
Yeah,
second.
she got in trouble.
Mhm.
She got in trouble with CPS a couple of times.
Okay, and so what happened to that case?
Um, I just know they dropped it, but I know it was going on for a while, and all they told me was just to keep my girls with me and keep them protected, which I was doing.
Okay. All right.
Because they had told me if I was gonna go pick up my daughters, that they were gonna send them to foster.
Mhm. Okay. Now, a couple of questions for mother. Ma'am, at the time these children were born or conceived, were you married to anyone?
No, ma'am.
Could anyone other than this gentleman be the father?
No, ma'am.
So there was another CPS allegation involving your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's how the two children came to live with father.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what's the status of that case?
So that also was an allegation that was with my younger son. He's now 11. I had been having problems with him with his mental problems and behavior at school. And so when he went to school, he had said that he heard the tape. He had said, "Oh, that sounds like my stepdad's stun gun." And so the school called CPS on me, and they stated that it was a taser. They thought it was a taser. The one that had the thing that came out of it, it was a stun gun. Once CPS came over, they were speaking to me. They were very, very aggressive. They didn't even give me the chance to call anybody.
What's the status of the case?
Oh, that's been closed. That's been closed about almost 2 years now.
So that's 2 CPS cases. Any other CPS cases?
I mean, yeah, there's been some with my younger son before that case that had been dropped. But they were
So why does CPS keep getting involved with you and your children? Because that really isn't a normal pattern. So why do they keep getting involved with you and your children?
Well, they were always getting involved because, like I said, my son, he was having behavioral problems at school. He was hitting kids. He was hitting the teachers. He went into two mental homes, because the Garland police picked him up because he was being very aggressive with the girls. So they took him to a mental home. And so then after he got out of the mental home, he came back home, and then that's whenever CPS got involved again.
All right.
And then,
So question for you now. Are you presently employed?
I am.
Where are you employed? I didn't hear any of that testimony. Where are you employed?
It's called Campus Box Media.
And how much do you earn per hour? Is it a salary or hourly?
It's hourly. It's 20.
$20 an hour, 40-hour work week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. $20 an hour, 40-hour work week, 4.33. Her gross is $3,466. What was the gross you used, counsel, for the state?
I used the income that included her commission. She earns commission, so I just took the average of what she actually earned.
Okay.
And she agreed that it was $4,442.06.
4,400 and what?
It's $4,442.06.
Okay. And then you have 2 children before the court and 3 others. Okay, so 4,000 basically times 9% is $396 for medical. And she has a total of 5 children. Divide that by 5. That would be pro rata $80 times these 2 kids would be $160 for the state.
Okay. Okay, so I will put that in
And
there.
then recalculate child support, please.
$678.
Is the child support with the 160?
Yes, whoops, hang on. I'm sorry, it didn't take it.
Yeah.
It's 677 is what I get.
677. Okay.
Yes.
What I'm going to do, this is going to be a temp order. We come back on February 28th, 2024. I'm going to need all the closures on your CPS cases and their findings and recommendations. And at this point, I'm going to not appoint ma'am, and you already stated there's never been any family violence between you and father, no protective orders or restraining orders, and he's never been arrested for any family violence towards you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So court is going to find sole managing conservatorship the custodial parent. The children will remain with their father. Possessory is the mother. At this point, I'm going to do supervised visits at FLP. That can be revisited once you provide the documentation on the next hearing to the Attorney General's office regarding these CPS cases. So that would be the 1st and 3rd weekends of the month. The address for FLP and their phone number will be in the order. You're both to contact them. That will be the drop off and the pickup for the children. That'll be the only visits between now and February. Too much CPS involvement. I need to know. I don't take people's words about just the CPS cases. A lot going on. And so therefore, medical reimbursement to the state will be $160 beginning December 1st. And child support will be $677 beginning December 1st, 2023. Retroactive child support and court costs reserved until the final hearing on February the 28th. You both are free to go. Have a good day. If you disagree with my ruling, appeal my decision. You would have to file it yourself or hire your own private attorney. The AG's office would not assist either of you. You both will receive a copy of the order for your records, and unless a district court judge changes this order, this is the order of the court, and it goes into effect immediately with or without your signature. There's no more testimony, ma'am, and the case is over for today.
But my
Thank you.
income's not even that no more. That's what I was gonna say.
Well, I asked you what the income was. Bring your current paycheck stub and commissions, 1099, everything that they've requested in the pleadings. Bring that back with your tax returns. Ms. Warren, make sure you put that in there. She's to give us the last 90 days of paycheck stubs, the last 2 years of tax returns, 1099s, last 2 years. We'll revisit it then.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you guys are free to go. Have a
So
good day.
how do I file an appeal?
You would have to hire your own private attorney or file it yourself. There's a law library in Dallas County Courthouse. That's all I can tell you.
And that's where I take my check stubs?
I'm sorry, no, you're gonna mail that in or email Ms. Warren's office. Their contact information will be in the order.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay.